Imagine sitting at a dinner table, smiling, pretending everything is fine, while the one person you love most in the world is silently breaking beside you. Now imagine the people causing that pain are your own family. And the worst part, they have no idea what they've just done. For years, that's how long it had been since life quietly split into before and after. There were plans. Plans about kids, names, futures, holidays filled with laughter. Normal dreams, simple dreams, and then came the diagnosis. Cancer, not the kind that just scares you for a moment, but the kind that rearranges everything. The kind that forces you to measure time differently. The kind that turns hope into something fragile. She fought. God, she fought. Hospitals, treatments, exhaustion. Days where even getting out of bed felt like climbing a mountain. But she made it through. She survived remission. A word that sounds like victory, but carries a quiet cost. Because survival doesn't always mean restoration. The treatments that saved her life also took something away. Something invisible, but deeply felt. The ability to have children, slipping further and further out of reach, and time. Time wasn't exactly on their side anymore. They didn't talk about it every day, but it lived there. In the background, in the pauses, in the looks they didn't finish still. They kept going. Because that's what you do when you love someone. You adapt. You rebuild. You learn how to carry the weight together. Meanwhile, life kept moving for everyone else. Her younger brother, the golden child, the easy one, the one life seemed to unfold smoothly for. Good job. Loving girlfriend. No storms, no scars, and he was a good guy. That made it harder. Somehow, because you couldn't blame him for having an easier life, but you could feel the difference. Then came the invitations. Lunch at the parents' house. Normal, casual, family time. Except the night before the first one, she got sick. Not just a little tired, real sick. Fever, weakness, the kind that reminds you her body still isn't what it used to be. They canceled the reaction. Disappointment, sure, but something sharper, too. Something like irritation. 2 weeks later, they rescheduled. This time, the morning of. It happened again. Fever, worse than before. Another cancellation. And that's when the tone shifted. Her brother called, not concerned, not worried. Suspicious? Are you sure this is real? Maybe it's just stress? As if this was something she could control. As if illness was an inconvenience. As if her body hadn't already been through hell. That's when something inside him snapped. This is real. And the conversation ended. Cold. 2 more weeks passed, finally. The dinner happened. Everyone was there. Smiles, small talk. Laughter that felt just slightly forced, and for a moment, it almost felt normal again. Almost. Dinner moved along like any other. Plates passed, conversations overlapped. Moments of silence filled with polite smiles. But underneath it all, something was off. You know that feeling, when everything looks fine, but doesn't feel fine. That his wife was quieter than usual. Not in a dramatic way, just careful. Like she was managing her energy. Measuring every word, every breath. He noticed. He always noticed. And then at the end of the dinner, her brother stood up, grinning. There's something for you guys. A gift. Out of nowhere. Phones came out. Cameras pointed. Wait, don't open it yet. We want to record your reaction. That should have been the first warning sign. But in that moment, you don't question it. You just go along because it's family. Because it's supposed to be safe. The box was small too. Small for anything complicated. She opened it slowly, and then everything changed. Inside was a pregnancy test. Positive. Silence. A split second that stretched into something endless, and then she broke. Not gently. Not quietly. She collapsed into tears, deep, uncontrollable, raw. She hugged the girlfriend, crying into her shoulder. It's happiness, she said through tears. And maybe part of it was, but not all of it, because grief and joy, They don't cancel each other out, they coexist. They collided. He stood there, frozen, trying to process everything at once. Happy for them, heartbroken for her, angry, confused, protective. It all hit at the same time. And then her brother laughed lightly and said, "Now you know why I was upset about you skipping the dinners." That line, that one line, changed everything. Because suddenly, those missed dinners weren't about illness anymore. They were about about their announcement. If her sickness had been an inconvenience to their moment, something inside him snapped. Not loudly, not explosively. Just enough they could have just called us. No need to make a whole scene like this. And just like that, the room shifted. Smiles disappeared. Silence took over. Confusion, shock, discomfort. No one knew what to say, and beside him, his wife wasn't okay anymore. The emotional hit, the stress, it was too much. Fever again, her body shutting down under the weight of everything. So, they left just like that. The part no one talks about. No one in that room thought they were doing anything wrong. Not the brother, not the girlfriend, not even the parents. To them, this was joy. A celebration, a moment worth capturing, a surprise meant to bring people closer. But here's the truth. Not all surprises are kind. Not all joy is shared equally, and not all pain is visible. They didn't see the 4 years. They didn't feel the quiet grief. They didn't understand that for this couple, pregnancy wasn't just happy news. It was a reminder of what might never be, and him. He wasn't just reacting to a comment. He was reacting to everything. The illness, the pressure, the unspoken loss. Finally finding a voice in the worst possible moment. So, was he wrong? Yes and no. He was wrong in how he said it, but not in what he felt, because here's the real lesson. You never truly know what someone is carrying, not from the outside, not from a dinner table, not from a smile. Joy can exist right next to pain, and if you're not careful, your happiest moment can become someone else's hardest one. Before you plan the surprise, before you assume everyone will celebrate the same way, pause, think, and ask yourself, is this moment really for everyone, or just for me? Because empathy isn't about sharing happiness, it's about understanding pain you can't see.